Okay, hello everyone. Thank you for coming. We're going to go ahead and get started at 7:02. Yeah, let's just start with the roll call.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So Molly, you're here. Chantel?
Here.
Katie?
Here.
Josie?
Here.
Dylan?
She will not be here.
Okay. Sydney?
She will also not be here.
Okay. Angie?
Here.
Alyssa?
Here.
Raven? Is Raven coming?
As far as I know, I haven't heard anything other
Okay.
contradictory to that.
Jamie Lynn?
She said she might be late.
Okay.
So,
Lindsay?
yes. Haven't
No,
heard
Lindsay.
coming.
And Eli?
Probably not also.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So January's minutes are on the drive. Are there any additions or corrections to January's minutes? Seeing none, those will be approved. Are there any additions or corrections to the agenda for tonight? Seeing none, the agenda will also be approved. Okay, I always write a lot in my officer report, but I'll try to keep it brief because we do have a couple important things to do. So basically been doing things as usual. I did answer the phone for the first time to answer a question, so that was cool. If you do see an email or a voicemail that you don't know what to do with or don't know the answer to, please don't just read it and leave it. Forward it or inform whoever you think needs to answer it. And if you don't know, then let me know. I don't want to miss anyone's communication. I don't think we have. I just want to be sure. If anyone needs their membership numbers and or expiration dates, I do have a roster from a couple weeks ago. So if you need those, you can ask me, especially on the weekends if the NSSNA office is not open. Faculty need to register as non-members because they're probably not a member of NSSNA. We do have the high school advisor coming, and she registered as a high school student, but whatever. I'm not going to ask her for more money. Let's see. We do need more people to run for positions. So at your schools, if you think there's someone coming that would be good to be on the board, that they're kind of on the fence or thinking about it, please encourage them to run. If they have any questions, have them reach out to us. We only have 7 people running right now, and we need to fill 12 positions. So please encourage people to run. The t-shirts need to be ordered by February 6th, so we will order at least enough to cover everyone who's already ordered, and then we will order probably however many more we need to get our discount, and as long as that's not too many more. And then whoever shows up can get a t-shirt, may or may not be in their size, but we have to do what we have to do. Also, if we're considering reopening the applications for the board, but everyone can run from the floor, obviously, as long as they're eligible. But Sydney and I were also talking about only letting people run from the floor for positions that don't have somebody already running, just because that's just a little more fair. People put in a lot of work to run for these positions. So letting more people run from the floors isn't fair. And we have a lot of positions to fill. So we can talk about that if you have opinions.
would we have to change our bylaws for that though? My only thing is, and is it anywhere in bylaws or policies that we do allow people to run for the floor, especially because on the national level, people are allowed to run from the floor. I just don't want to break any rules by making constraints on that. That's my only concern with that.
And I think running from the floor is also, I can't remember exactly how they do it on the national level, but I don't think it says in our bylaws specifically what. Let me find
We
it.
had somebody run from the floor at last state convention.
And that was Sydney, but Sydney already had put in the work, and she was basically just changing the position because she originally, I think, from my understanding, she had originally put in for the position that she ran from the floor for, and was for some reason slated for my position to
Yeah.
run against me. So, but my only thing is, I am okay with that, but I want to make sure that we at least don't have any clear rules against putting constraints against that, and that we are clear with our constituents, because there might be constituents, because in the past it has been allowed, that they come into state thinking that they're allowed to do that.
Yeah.
And, you know, I just want to make sure everyone is very clear on it and we don't anger anyone, because it is very short notice for anyone who might be thinking, okay, well, I can run from the floor, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And at this point, if we reopen elections, they have that time to, or reopen applications, they have the time to submit their application. Especially we can make another MailChimp announcement, send out more emails. But here's what our bylaws say.
So we would reopen for all positions if we reopen, not only those that are, okay. So at least if we do it that way, then we would reopen for everything. And then if we make running from the floor only for the open positions, that way we could say, well, we did give you the opportunity to apply for longer. Okay. I just don't want to make anyone angry and then have people throwing a fit at convention on the floor.
Yeah, here's what our bylaws say. Nominations may be made from the floor at the annual meeting of the association, provided that the eligibility of the nominated individual has been established as determined by these bylaws. Verbal and written consent of each individual is secured and submitted prior to voting at the annual meeting. Any issues regarding nominations verification shall be determined according to the NSSNA bylaws. Then for elections, it says the voting body at the annual meeting of the NSSNA shall consist of active associated individual members in good standing who have presented their credentials upon pre-registration or registration. The officers, directors, and one advisor shall be elected at the annual meeting. The election shall be by ballot. Plurality vote shall elect a tie vote. I don't know why that's capitalized. Oh, there are no periods in our bylaws, just so everyone knows. Shall elect a tie vote shall be decided first by a revote and, if necessary, then by casting a lot. I don't know what that means. The NSSNA board shall delegate the responsibility of appointing tellers who shall act as inspectors of the elections. That's pretty much all it says. So there's no clear.
Do we have any policies or anything?
It might be in our policies, and the way our policies are, we can change them whenever we want to. So that's why we were trying to come up with a script for elections to be put at least in our policies this year and hopefully into bylaws next year.
Okay.
Because we don't have.
Yeah, and I'm fine with, my main thing is I just don't want to have like a big fight on our floor. Not that I'm saying that would happen. I just, you know.
Yeah. And I agree. I just think it's just not fair to just let anyone do whatever they want. But
no, I completely agree with that. We said that last year, like as a school, after like we had students apply, we were like, all this work you put into
when you
applying.
can just wait. Yeah, just wait till the day of and do whatever you want. So that's what we were talking about. And we're trying to write a script that can be used for every year to be put into our policies. That way we're not trying to figure out what to say every single year.
Those who do wait to the day of, though, do still have to provide all those materials after the fact, correct?
Yes, they have so many days to do it. That's probably in a policy too, because I don't know that it's in our bylaws. Why we have so many documents is beyond me. Motions and voting quorum, special meetings. No. So yeah, that's something that needs to be clarified. There's just so many things that need fixed and we can't do it this year. But yeah, that's what we were talking about. And we can send out another MailChimp announcement, but I wanted to run it by you guys because that's what we thought was more fair. And it might help fill the board up because then they can see, well, I can't run for this one because someone's already running, but I could run for this open position. And I think that was kind of how it was at nationals. Like if there was an open one, you could submit all your stuff and run from the floor. But I can't remember. Okay, let's see. Keep encouraging people to come. As for UNMC students, we all have a test on the Monday following convention, but our campus has said that they are open to any UNMC student coming to take their test on our campus. If they don't want to drive back, they don't want to come drive back, they can just stay. And we do have student housing, sort of. You can rent a room for like $20 a night. And so if you run into anyone from UNMC, you can tell them these things. I went to EWC and their nursing instructor there said she was going to advertise to all of her CNA classes. She'd take one to the hospital, take one to the nursing home, and see if anyone from Wyoming wants to come. Also, we're supposed to evaluate our state consultant every year, so I will be coming up with probably a Google form again to fill out, but it'll be anonymous and I'll share it with Eli. So, I mean, I'm not going to tell you not to be like brutally honest, but maybe don't be super mean if you feel like you need to be mean, but also be honest. And again, look at our policies because we're going to be updating them. There's things in them that just don't apply and they haven't been changed. Committee reports, scripts. So when you're writing your script, include briefly, I'm the chair of this committee. This is what we did this year. If you didn't do anything or nobody applied for your committee, just say, moving forward, this is what our committee will be doing. So just kind of say what your committee does. Any questions about that? Okay. And I invited all of our people who are running for positions to come today, but I don't think any of them are here, which is fine because I forgot till yesterday. Okay. Any questions for me or comments or concerns? Okay, Chantel.
So basically, I've just been working on convention. Things are coming together nicely, and I'm ready for it to be here in a couple weeks. Other than that, I agree nominations is kind of a problem. We need to fill the slate, and if we can't fill the slate, we at least need to fill our main positions like our president, vice president, secretary, treasurer. Right now, we only have somebody. We don't have anybody for secretary or second vice, and the first vice is only if somebody loses against presidency, so please really encourage that. That's pretty much all I do is convention. If anyone has any questions, I can answer directly, but it's just a lot of little details. That's it.
Thank you. Does anyone have any questions about convention or for Chantel?
Chantel, is there anything we can do for you besides like scripts or anything? Because your job just sounds extremely daunting and amazing and sad and awful at the same time. So if there's anything I can do to make your life easier, please let us know.
The main thing I'm doing right now is just figuring out a name tag design. And I found like on Avery, they have templates, which I think is our best luck because all the printing places I've talked to around here, they needed our names like a week ago, which is absurd. So we'll just have to print them ourselves. So I'm just working on that. if anybody has any ideas. I am going to use where you write in like what a nurse means to you or whatever that was, but that's about it. I'm just ready for it to be done.
Okay. If you send me the like website you're using after I take my final on Wednesday, I can kind of brainstorm.
Okay, sounds good. Any other questions? Okay.
Thank you. Katie.
Yeah, so I met with Molly and we got the bylaws pretty much finalized for convention. So that was exciting to get that out of the way. So we just needed to make sure that we post to social media about bylaws and that they need to go on the website, which, was that done yet? Okay,
Yep,
yeah,
I
I
did
thought
that.
so. Perfect, thank you. And that we sent that announcement through MailChimp. Have we done that yet?
Yep, I did that too.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you. Other than that, I'm working on my transition letter and am looking forward to convention.
Perfect. And we'll go through, I have some time on here just to go through position descriptions on the bylaws because you might not be able to edit it right now, depending on how you're accessing the document. So we'll just go through it. If you have something to add, I'll type it in and we will just go from there because I had to fill in everyone's position descriptions because I don't know where they are, except Raven's. Hers was already there. Okay, Josie.
I've just been doing what I've normally been doing, trying to figure out life. And seriously though, I've been getting our scholarship finalized. She emailed me or emailed us. Even though we wanted it direct deposited, she said that she's still going to send us a check. And I've already talked to Molly about that. Thank you, Molly, for being on the lookout. I've been meeting with the businesses that we're getting our convention shirts from and our merchandise from. I should have our quarter zips and headbands on Monday, tomorrow. Oh well, the week's gone by. Like Molly already said, our last order for convention shirts needs to be in by February 6th. I tried emailing local high schools again, and I've just been really broadcasting at Mid-Plains trying to get people to come to convention. Got a couple more donations. I've been working on the nursing Olympics as well too, and I think Chantel, you said that somebody else was maybe working on it as well.
Somebody said they would, but of course I haven't heard anything. So.
Okay.
You and me.
Okay. Well, I have a bunch of stuff left over from like my lab bag. Like I have a bunch of gauze pads and stuff like that, and I figured maybe we could use that.
Just bring whatever you have. We'll make it work.
Yeah, we can probably also grab stuff from our skills lab.
Yes, that would be perfect.
Well,
and then,
sorry.
The last major thing that I was working on this month was taxes. I finally figured this out. Finally. And so, yep, that was it.
Awesome. Thank you for figuring out our taxes because those are important. Also, you got us our discount on Jot Form. So
yes,
we have 50% off Jot Form now, right?
Yes.
Yes. Awesome. Any questions for Josie? Okay, Dylan's not here. Mackenzie.
Okay, so I met with Molly about transition. So I've been trying to finish up my transition packet. I also sent out an email to the first year nursing students on the Scottsbluff campus about applying for board positions. And then I also reached out to my high schools again about convention, but I haven't really heard anything from any of them, so.
Awesome. We will have at least 2 from Gearing High School at this time and 7 from Crawford High School. So I think that's pretty awesome.
There's a bunch of students from Alliance really interested too. I just haven't gotten any of their stuff.
That's awesome. I haven't heard anything.
Have all the Crawford
I'm sorry.
have all the Crawford students registered yet?
I think she's sending in a packet with their registrations. I think their faculty advisor registered,
Okay.
but she registered as a high schooler, so it's confusing.
Yes, I was wondering. I saw one. I was like,
Yeah, that's I think their
Okay.
advisor. Looks like Sydney has her report in there, and that's just basically what I said. And we're gonna transition. All right, Angie.
I talked to the proclamation people, and it should be signed this week and is being mailed to me. I should have it in, they promised me I'd have it in my hand before I left for convention. Did we find frames for that, or do I need to grab one?
I think we have frames.
Okay, I know it was a weird size, so.
Yeah. Did they tell you how big it is? If it's the same size as ours, I think we have a frame.
I have a really big frame and then like a little one that ours will fit in, the city one, so we should be good.
Okay, I measured the one from last year and sent it to somebody, but I don't remember who, and it's written down somewhere.
That's
But
okay. I think we'll be all right.
Yeah. If not, we can just run to Walmart. Not a big deal.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm just working on my transition stuff. I had a couple comments on that, but I don't know if that's for now or if we're going to talk about that stuff later or whenever you want to.
I think I have it on here for a little bit later. Do I?
I don't have the agenda pulled up, so.
Oh yeah, I have it on here. We can talk.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's about it. Just wrapping things up. I have finals starting Monday after convention. So if I'm stressed out, that might be why while I'm there. I didn't realize that until recently. The finals were right after.
No, we understand. Okay, awesome. Sorry, I've lost my place now. Community service, which is Alyssa.
Yeah, I've been promoting the philanthropy, and I've gotten a few donations from some of our nursing faculty at Wesleyan, so that's good. I had my one-on-one with Molly, and I've been working on my transition packet, and I emailed the high schools that I was assigned to and got my script for convention sent to Chantel. And there's a new member on my committee, so I've been in contact with her. Her name's Megan, and I'm having her promote the philanthropy and encourage people to run for our positions. So that's all.
Awesome. Jamie is going to join us, so let's go to Raven and then see where we are.
All right. So, I've been pretty much just working on my transition. I got one other donation. That was the makeup that I promoted. The main reason I promoted that on social media is it tied in really well with our philanthropy. I gave my remaining donation names to Josie so she could get those on the t-shirts. Then I've been promoting various different things on social media and just kind of trying to keep up with that as best I could with everything health-wise going on in my life. I had my one-on-one with Molly. I talked to students at my school to get more to apply. I did get one more, so I got one to officially put in for Image of Nursing, which I think would be great if that person got it, mainly because they're kind of on the same path school that I'm on statewide. So hopefully, fingers crossed, but maybe we'll get a better fit. Who knows? I worked on travel plans with Angie, so we're going to be traveling together to save money for the state. I gathered more donations for philanthropy, and then I met with the first level nursing students at Clarkson to promote SNA and then to promote convention, which actually led to some more people signing up for convention and coming and actually joining SNA. So that was great. And then I've been working on my script to give to Chantel because I had it done, but then I realized I did not include committee duties in it because I'm really smart and great at my job, and I forgot that we had committees. So there's that.
Don't feel bad about that. I don't know that committees have been a thing for a while. So we're just going to go with it. Okay, let's see. Everyone here has given theirs. Okay, we're just gonna skip Jamie and she can type it in and move on to our old business. So convention updates, these are all old. But Chantel, do you have anything else to add that we haven't talked about today, or is it written down?
Sorry. No.
Okay, cool. Okay, transition. Like I said, I need everyone to work really hard on this. It's going to be really important for the next group. Basically, the point of transition is to eliminate basic learning, so we don't have to relearn everything every year. Questions, comments about transition?
I just had a comment. I know, well, a couple things. I know you said you couldn't find position descriptions, but like mine was in my legislative folder, but not my transition folder. So I will move that stuff over now, but I just an FYI. And I know during our one-on-one, you talked about our transition stuff, including like the organizational background and kind of what everything that's happened this year and scenarios and all that stuff. And I said this during our one-on-one, but I don't understand why we're all rewriting the same information. Like I get having a huge transition document and giving them all the information we can, but I just feel like if we're all writing the same background information, like in what's happened for the last year, aside from what happened in our specific position, that it's going to get confusing. And I personally don't have a lot of time. I work, I have a kid, not an excuse by any means, but just throwing that out there. I'm afraid it's going to be, because my perspective of what happened this year, say with planning convention and whatnot, is going to be totally different than Chantel or Josie or you guys out there that had your hands in what you're doing. It just seems like a lot of extra.
And that's fine. That's kind of the point of the transition of being in different positions, because the perspective of your position planning for convention is going to be very different than like Chantel's perspective, and the way that a scenario might play out from your position is going to be different. The other thing is you don't have to go into a lot of detail in things. Just say we subscribe to Zoom or subscribe to MailChimp and just add those in there. And a scenario for your position is going to be different for someone else's. The only thing that's probably going to look very, very similar is the timeline. So I don't see it being super confusing because the positions don't all approach things the exact same way. Does that make sense?
I guess just when you described it to me on the one-on-one, it seemed more like we were all kind of writing about, this is what happened this year and this is what happened in my position. Or, I know a lot of the scenarios that would come up, the answers are in the bylaws. And not everybody reads the bylaws, but if a scenario comes up and you need to know the answer, refer to the bylaws. That's why they're there.
Yeah, and you can put that in your transition as well, because that is a problem that obviously has been a problem for years. Nobody reads the bylaws. So if you refer to bylaws, you can even put where they are in the bylaws, but also maybe put this is what you could do, just a brief synopsis. and refer to it. The other thing about transition is I had it started, each piece was due starting in November. So my sympathy level isn't huge, but I do realize it's a big document, but it doesn't have to be as daunting as you might think it is. And we'll go over them together the night before, just because with the timeline, it might be a little bit different, but we'll go through and make sure everyone has everything. And if you can't think of everything right now, maybe someone can jog your memory. But like it says in the document, you don't have to include every single thing that you could possibly think of, but try to give people as much organizational memory as possible, because we do want to eliminate the basic learning.
That's fine. I mean, I'm not asking for sympathy or anything. I'm just, as I'm working on it, it seems a little, like I said, a little extraneous. I will give them everything that I've got, like information-wise that I have, but I'm not gonna just pull stuff out of nowhere like that has nothing to do with my position and expect a new person to understand it.
And that's not what
So
I'm asking you to
I'll
do.
do what I can.
No, I would just think of things that pertain to you, scenarios, anything like that. But with organizational memory, it's good to have as much in there as possible. Also, if somebody loses them or doesn't update them, someone else might have theirs. So, but I really want each of you to do a really good job with your initial transition, since this is the first one. And in the future, I have no idea how well they're going to do with their transitions. So if we can get as much in everyone's transition as possible right off the bat, that would save probably a lot of headaches, just like even years in the future.
So just because I feel like how you kind of said it to me in our one-on-one helped clarify it a little bit, I think, in our organizational memory. So what you said to me for organizational memory is essentially organizational memory for just my position. So like I created social media this year for my organizational memory. And then I created the Image of Nursing Award for organizational memory. So basically my organizational memory is things that my position did for the year and how it went. And then I can talk about other positions, but it's basically how it ties into my position.
Yeah.
Essentially, so it doesn't get confusing.
Yeah, so basically,
So I'm not going to go into Chantel's position, obviously.
right. And the other thing is, what I'm saying, including things like Zoom and MailChimp, because those are not positional. Those are across the board. So I wouldn't say, yeah, don't go into super depth. Like, don't say a lot about social media, but you could say increased social media presence. That's what I mean. I'm not saying go into years and years of history about what we are doing, but what happened this year or why we do things the way we do.
Yeah. Would you, because I didn't do much with Jotform, MailChimp, things of that nature, would you be able to give us a little bit more information on that? Mainly because it was particularly you and I think Dylan working with those items, because I don't really know much about that.
Yeah, and that's fine. From your perspective, you could even just say, we subscribe to these things, and this position is in charge of it. Does that make sense?
Okay.
That's all I'm. What was that?
That's kind of what I said. I was like, we subscribe to Jotform, and like I myself got the discount on it. I was like, but if you really want more information, I would look in the president's transition. It's kind of, I like referred it over to yours.
Okay.
I have a question real quick.
Yeah.
In mine, for like when I was trying to tell them like passwords and stuff, I assume they're gonna change them. So I just told them to ask their president. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's probably fine. Raven and I talked about trying to find a good way to consolidate and protect passwords. So for the most part, passwords are going to be social media, financial, and any forms that we have or subscriptions. So Dylan should have the comprehensive list of passwords ultimately. So if anyone has passwords, they should go to Dylan just so she can control the list. So Yeah, and it'll probably be the president and communications. And then specific passwords would go to the specific positions. Does that sound like a good idea?
So like I'll keep my social media ones in my image folder.
Yes, and send them to Dylan. So at least one person will have all of the passwords. Okay, any other questions, comments about transition? Okay. If you do, please let me know. They are super important. I've done them several times in the past. So please do your best. If you have a question about something, let me know. But ultimately, from the perspective of your position, what happened this year, yeah. Then social media, pretty much the same as always. Raven, do you have anything to add?
Pretty much. I have no problem posting again, but my main thing is trying to get more people to post because all of us have a different presence, and it's best to get everyone's kind of different personalities and different vibes out there, because that's the great thing about our board is we're all unique and have various personalities, and that reaches so many different people, because not everyone's going to vibe with me well, and different people are going to get different things. Say some people get better things from Molly, and some people get better things from me, or some people get better things from Katie, so it's better if we all are posting. That way, we're reaching as many people as possible. So if people can continue to post, and instead of it just being me, because I know I can be super energetic and annoying and like a puppy who's just like, love me. So just more people post, so it's not just my crazy energy out there.
Yeah, and that would be another thing to put in transition, probably, is a goal for the future is to incorporate more positions into social media. And that can be for everyone's transition, just because that would be a good future goal to get everyone to be more transparent as an organization. Okay, committees. You can still advertise committees. The way I have it set up is the deadline to join committees is next year at whatever deadline they want to set. So people can join committees. They can join committees at convention. So that's why it'll be good to have you talk about what your committee does at convention during the State of the State address. I'm going to put that in a governing document somewhere, renaming it. Yeah, and at least have a plan for moving forward. So say what you do, what you're looking forward to in the future, just so people don't think we have committees but don't care about them. We're really trying. Philanthropy. Alyssa, do you have anything to talk about for philanthropy?
Not really anything new. Thanks to everybody who's promoted it and gathered stuff. That's really awesome. I think at the convention, I can get this if we take like a jar or a bucket of some sort for people to put other donations, and I can put up like a flyer by it or something, so we could collect some more while we're there. But other than that, I don't really have anything else to add.
We at least have a money donation jar in our closet that belongs to NSSNA. And we can find something if you are expecting material goods. Just let us know what you think.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, that donation jar would be good.
Awesome. And thank you for doing that. And I also added it to the to your position description that your position is now in charge of that every year. So that would be another good thing to put in your transition.
Okay, sounds good.
Yes, it is my dog. He's very sad. Fundraising. we sent out flyers with our last donation letters. As far as I know, nobody's joined. So maybe in the future, tag would be something to try sooner. And since it took them so long to get back to us, we can try harder next year. I think that was a really awesome idea, though, and if we could spread tag around Nebraska, that could be a really great future fundraiser for us. The other thing I thought about was a silent auction. Josie, if that's not in your transition, if you would add it, because I did a silent auction this year, or last year, that raised a lot of money. So there's an idea. Do you have anything else you want to talk about with fundraising?
Not really. I mean, what was her name? Jennifer, she gave me a call and because she was interested in running for the treasurer position, and we just had a really good talk about what she could do in the future if she does obtain the position. So, nope, that's about it.
Awesome. Our merchandise and convention budgets were both approved. Is there any other old business that I forgot to talk about? Okay, seeing none, we will go on to our new business. Okay, I'm going to share my screen so everyone can see the bylaws. Okay, can everyone see them?
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. So let's just go so everyone can see what I put in here. If you have something else to add, please let me know and I will type it in because I may have revoked access on accident because I didn't want anyone in the whole world to be able to edit this document when I shared it on the internet. Ravens, I'm probably going to need to condense yours just a little bit, but this is what you sent me and what was in our shared document.
I'm a little wordy, so you do whatever you need to do.
Okay, I will revise it a little bit later, but I will try to keep the spirit of it alive. Also, as you can
take a little spirit out.
I changed chair to director, mostly because everywhere in the bylaws, all of your positions are referred to as directors, and nationally they're directors, and you'll still be the chair of the committee, but you will be called the Image of Nursing Director instead of Image of Nursing Chair, which I think sounds cooler. If everyone's okay with that. Breakthrough, I talked with Jamie about that already. Community service. Alyssa, do you have any additions or corrections to your position description?
I think that looks good.
Okay. And I put on here about the community service award applications because nominations has something similar. They're in charge of maintaining and updating those. So I added that for you for award applications so that you can be the person that those go to, because I think last year they made everything go to the first vice president or the president, and that's not how it should be going. That's why we have so many positions on this board. So community service related goes to you, nominations goes to nominations, etc. Sydney's not here. Does anyone else have additions or corrections to her position description? Okay. And legislative. Angie, any additions or corrections?
No, looks good.
Okay. I think that's everybody's. And I will go over those a little bit later, but that's currently what's out in the universe. Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing now. Okay, so I think just a few more things to go over. Emails and updates. If we need an update to go out, like for, what did we say? The elections and stuff, then let me know. If you send me an email reminder, oh my gosh, that will be the best. Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on.
Little baby. Josie, why'd you hide your baby? Oh, I love your wiener.
Sorry.
Actually, a dachshund, or however you say it. Yep, that's how you say it.
Mine's half of
I
that.
have one too, and he's hiding under my bed right now.
I just got him
So
2 days ago.
bring him with
Huh.
you when you come down here.
I thought about it. I really did.
Okay, updates. If you need something updated, please send me an email so I remember. Otherwise, I will forget about it right after this meeting. I promise. Yeah, right now I know about, what did I just say? Elections. Got it. That's what I mean though. I'll forget. Yeah, and if anyone else has anything, let me know. But that should be about it. But we can send more updates as we get closer, because once we start getting closer to convention, people are probably wanting more updates anyway. Okay. Convention budget. Someone added all this stuff, so I will let whoever typed this stuff in this section speak about it.
That was me. So it's just, I don't want to wait until last minute to figure out who's carpooling and who isn't, or who's staying both nights and who isn't. So if you guys could just let me know, because we'll talk about this later, but I'll be real, we probably aren't going to be on top this year. So any little thing will help make it not seem so bad.
So I just wanted to say something on that. Like for all the meal and the t-shirt, everybody's registration fee covers all of that except for high school students, which we don't have a ton of. So I just want you to remember that that's basically taken care of. And then the Civic Center is basically not going to charge us anything other than our food. So we have no extra cost there, and we have 19 vendors, so that's 250 times 19. So there's a lot more money coming in than I think anybody realizes.
Well, and I completely agree, Chantel, and I'm happy that all that money is coming in, but we honestly paid for a lot of last year's state convention stuff. So not only we were paying for ours, but we also paid for last year's pretty much. We paid for their state convention shirts. We paid for their food. And they didn't, when she was done finalizing her budget, she didn't take out all the, oh my God, my mind's going blank. The checks that she wrote. So like all their mileage reimbursement got took out of ours. So.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest issue.
Yes.
Why were they the worst last year?
I don't know. But yeah. So that's what we're still trying to recover from last year. It's taking a while. Yeah, hopefully we can avoid this in the future. Josie's doing a really good job setting us up for success. and writing out how to do money in her transition. Because
Yeah, don't go look at it. It's like 16 pages. Don't go look at it.
or do. Maybe it's good for the future. Okay, let's see. Where are we? Pension budget. Okay, are we on a financial report then?
Yes. So we're waiting for the scholarship to come in the mail. We only got $250 from the bank, but the other $250 is taken care of. Don't worry about that, guys. Taxes are taken care of. We filed late though because I could not find our information to log in, which was awful. But I spoke to a lady from the Nebraska Department of Revenue, and she said that if we get a fee charged to us, and she gave me a form to fill out, so that way that fee is taken care of. So like I said earlier, we probably won't come out on top this year because we paid for a lot of last year's stuff. And then for the actual financial report, as of the end of December, we had $23,733.07. Our total income for the month was $6,388.20. We only got $30 from the national percent dues that we get. Our interest was $1.10. State convention so far, we have $6,243.42. Merchandise, we had $83.68, and then miscellaneous, which was a refund, was $30 because I accidentally tried to file next year's taxes as well. And then our total expenses was $1,547.81 for state convention so far, which this is just our convention shirts. I paid for half of it so that way she would start printing because she wanted a percentage down. But it's not just the shirts, don't worry. Was $619.63. The miscellaneous, which is like our postage and stuff, was $188.18. And then merchandise was just flat $740. And so our end balance as of the end of January was $28,573.46. And that's why I'm thinking that we're not going to come out on top, is because we haven't even reached what they were at yet. They were 29,000 something. I don't have it with me right now, but
awesome. Any questions or comments? Okay. Any open forum discussion? Anything that we haven't talked about that anyone wants to talk about? Okay. Well, if anyone thinks of anything, feel free to email me. Please keep, if it's part of your assigned duty, as part of your other duties as assigned, to watch the phone or email, please keep an eye out, especially now, because I think people are going to start asking us questions. And I'll try to do the same, but let me know if you have any questions. And
I guess I do have a question about that. On my end, it like rings once and then it hangs up.
Yeah, it was doing that for us too, like all of us in Scottsbluff. So I don't know what that was. I don't know who that was, but someone called the other day and it rang and rang and I answered it and it was a person. So I don't know if we're getting spammed or what with that one ring and hanging up, but it was the same number. So I don't know.
So my Google Voice, I had like an update, but it was really old on my phone. So now that I've updated it, like it actually rings.
Yeah, I think I have just my app may have been offloaded and then I downloaded it again. I'm not sure. I don't know if I did that before or after I got the phone call. So maybe see if your app is offloaded or not updated, because you might have to click on it. It might not automatically update like other apps do.
Okay. I'll look at that.
I just remembered that. Yeah. So that's another thing that if you've used Google Voice this year, I'd put that in your transition too. Your experience with it. Okay. But you should.
Are we going to open the applications back up?
Yeah, let's do it.
Can
We'll
we do
open
it till like the Monday before?
whatever you are comfortable with, Chantel. Does that make you
Well,
comfortable?
I'm not the nomination chair, so I don't really care.
Well, I mean, to get the book printed, does that make you comfortable?
Yeah.
Okay. Then, yes.
Okay.
I'll just
Thank
make
you.
an executive decision. Yes. Remind me so I can open up the form again. Okay. Anything else?
I
Are
just,
we?
Oops,
Oh,
sorry.
are we?
go first, Raylan.
Okay, sorry. You want to go first? Okay, so who's going
Nope,
first?
go.
Okay. Are we voting on the running from the floor thing, or are we just deciding? I don't care either way. I just want to know.
I kind of left it up to Sydney.
Okay.
And that was something we discussed.
Cool.
Just because it's super within her scope.
Yeah.
But if anyone's super opposed to it and you don't want to talk about it right now, feel free to email us and we can definitely talk about it. It hasn't happened yet, but yeah, if anyone's really
My only thing, I just want to make it known that if we do go with this decision to have that happen, we need to have it sooner rather than later, in my opinion, so that we can send out an email to the schools so that they know that that's happening, so that we're clear and upfront, so that we don't have any sassy people.
Yes, and that will be what goes out in the update.
Okay.
So I'll talk with
Just
Chantel about reopening these. And if someone wants to email me with that reminder so I can do it tomorrow,
Okay.
that would be really helpful.
I mean, it's up to you and Sydney what you want to do. I just want to know as far as like printing the booklet. So I don't care what you do. I just need to know what's happening.
Opening is fine. The update would be, I just need to talk to you about the date, and then that will jog the rest of my memory. So if someone wants to email me today, or if Chantel, you want to meet tomorrow and talk about that so I can reopen drop form, that would be great.
We can talk tomorrow.
Perfect, because I have a lot of things to do tonight still, so I'm not going to remember to do that today. Okay. Josie, did you have something else?
I just wanted to let everybody know if they could like message me and let me know if they're carpooling or if they're not. I would really appreciate it. That way I just know. I like knowing. And then I know me, Molly, and Chantel talked about this one day, but if you're bringing like any other people with you, if you can maybe have them chip in. Like I myself am bringing 2 other students, and so they're helping chip in for gas, and so in my mind, if they're helping chip in for gas, then we shouldn't have to reimburse you as much. Jamie Lynn, you're funny. So like, that's just kind of my opinion. But I'm also a treasurer. That's my job. Cheap, cheap, cheap. So,
Cool.
yes, if people could just message me and let me know. And
I'll be here, so there.
thanks, Mom.
You're welcome. Okay, anything else? Okay. Thanks, everyone. We can adjourn now. Oh, man, at 8:01, barely missed 8 o'clock. And I will talk to you all very soon. Have a great night.